James. James and I spent the morning together, and it was kind of a mentorship thing, but the amazing thing about mentorship is that I think you learned a lot.
Absolutely.
And I learned a lot too from you, which was awesome. So I really appreciate you coming out. And I'll give you the backstory because I think that there's so much to be learned here. So first of all, if you're watching this, you're somebody that's in my tribe, but also I am sharing this to the VIA community. And if you're not familiar with VIA, VIA is the Virtual Entrepreneurs Association. It's all the tools, resources, discounts, education, and community that you need to grow your small business. And I've been self-employed for 30 years. And I guess there's been several phases in my businesses. I'm sure you can relate, James. My first 20 years were kind of grinding. I had some successes and failures, but luckily more successes than failures, and it was a good run. And then when I hit the third decade of my entrepreneurial career, I said, you know what? It's time for me to have a business that I design rather than a business rather than having sort of a life that my business dictates for me. And so that's when I redesigned everything. Got leverage in my business and created a lifestyle business. And for the last decade, I've traveled all over the globe, having amazing adventures, meeting incredible people like you, and at the same time, scaling my business, which has been awesome. In this next chapter in my business, I decided, look, I don't have to work anymore. I like working. I love it. I love what I do. But if I'm going to keep doing this, it's got to be awesome. And I want to do something really incredible. And I decided to do a give back, and that was VIA. And the reason I wanted to create VIA is because when I started my business, I was 15, and I had nothing. I had no money, no resources, no education, nothing, no capital. I mean, it was hard. And I'm sure you can relate to, grinding and getting a business going. And for me, it was so hard, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. And so I really created VIA to empower entrepreneurs, and specifically entrepreneurs that want to, live an awesome life and just have a blast, like you, right? And so we launched VIA August 1st. We've had thousands of people join the association in such a short amount of time. It's been very exciting. And in our private Facebook group, we've had a lot of feedback too. And a lot of people are saying, hey, love VIA. How can I promote it? How can I make money doing that? And a lot of people have asked that because we do have a component of VIA where you refer people and you get paid money, which is pretty cool. And so a lot of people have asked about that. So I thought I'd back up a little bit. There's a lot of marketing lessons to be learned here. So first of all, when we launched VIA, we decided to do a contest with our affiliates. And what are affiliates? Well, you may or may not know what affiliate marketing is, but there are hundreds of thousands of companies out there that have proven products or services, and they have marketing material already created, and they'll give you what's called an affiliate link, and you can market that link, and when people buy, they'll cut you a check. It's pretty awesome. Now, you may be watching this and say, hey, I know exactly what affiliate marketing is, great, but if you don't, now you know. And then what happens quite often when you do a launch is you do a contest. So we did 2 contests when we launched VIA on August 1st. And the first contest was our 72-hour contest where we just said, hey, whoever gets the most amount of sales in the first 72 hours is going to get some pretty cool prizes. And the first prize was, hey, I'm going to fly out to Vegas to spend a half day with me or a day with me, And you won that.
That's right.
Congratulations on that. Yeah, it was awesome. And it was really cool. You reached out to me initially and you said, listen, Dav, I want to win the contest so I can just come out and hang out with you. Is that cool? And I said, absolutely. And so you did. And so a lot of people have been asking, like, hey, how can I market this? So I thought, hey, what better person to bring on and ask those kind of questions to the guy that won the contest, right? Yeah. It was awesome. Sure. So let's start off with your background. You shared with me today how you got into affiliate marketing and marketing itself. So tell us that story.
Well, it was basically out of need.
Yeah.
So
necessity.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And like a lot of people, my wife was pregnant at the time. This was 11 years ago, and I decided to have a yard sale. Had that yard sale, sold some things. The crap that I had left, I took to
Goodwill,
yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And took it in there, and I dropped it off in the back, and then went in the front just to check it out. And I went in there, and there was a lady literally going to the cash register with a suitcase that I brought in. So that just something like a little switch went off in my head.
Yeah.
And I said, what happened there was that she was in a place where she was ready to buy, and she saw what she wanted. She didn't know about my yard sale. So that was the kind of key to me. And I said, well, how could I have gotten that in front of this person? I don't have the money to have a building or anything. So at the time, and it still is popular, but at the time, Craigslist was big. So I started selling things on Craigslist. I started selling other things, all kinds of different things on Craigslist. That led me to an information product, which I told Davin I sold my first information product was 2 pages long, which is crazy to me.
$50
for $50.
The good old days.
$50 for 2 pages, and on how to make money on Craigslist, and because that's what I had done, and I started making YouTube videos about it, and I had a gentleman by the name of Dean Graziosi, which is a very big player in marketing, but he saw what I was doing on YouTube, and we created an infomercial. So I literally went from doing a yard sale to an infomercial. I was just thrust into this crazy world. So
it's pretty exciting.
Yeah,
pretty awesome.
It was awesome.
Yeah, and then, like you said, there were ups and downs, right? There's always ups and downs. The infomercial didn't quite go the way you'd planned, but the successful people are the ones that just keep on going. And you've been incredibly successful. You've done tons of launches now, and lots of VIA members are asking us. They're like, well, how can I promote, and so on and so forth. And what's interesting is most of your launches and your promos that you do are typically on JVZoo and Warrior Plus, right? So if you're not familiar with those platforms, they are affiliate platforms. They're where these affiliates hang out. They're looking for good things to promote all the time, and it's a captive audience of affiliates, right? I mean, could you go on Warrior Plus and have no list and get some affiliates?
Absolutely.
So what's the mechanics of that?
Well, specific to your offer, which I thought was really neat, was the fact that it was something where the person didn't have to spend any money up front. Mm-hmm. It was a free offer, and you could pay someone $5. That's very unique, at least from my perspective, what I see. So I thought that was a really neat premise. But one of the easiest ways, if not the easiest way to make money online, in my opinion, is to, first of all, see these types of launches that are coming out. So if we're talking about Warrior Plus and JVZoo, one site you can go to is called Munch Eye. Mm-hmm. So a gentleman by the name of Chris Munch. Mm-hmm. So that's his last name, Munch, and then I-U-I-E, like your eyeball, muncheye.com. You can go there and see a list of all these upcoming launches. So one easy thing you can do without a list, without any money, is say, okay, this launch is coming out in 5 days. Let me do a little YouTube video on it. Basically, YouTube saying this is coming out. Maybe you want to give a little free bonus, a little ebook you made. Maybe you want to reach out to the product creator, maybe do a little interview with them, which brings some value. And so bottom line is you make a YouTube video, and then you have your affiliate link in that video. So in other words, that video can rank on Google in page 1. So a lot of times when a product comes out, someone's either searching for the name of the product, or they're searching for review of product. So if you have review of XYZ product, it may make the first page, it may not. But if you're consistent and you do that daily, you will make sales, guaranteed.
Yeah, and I've had, over the years, we've done launches, and that's exactly what I've seen, with tons of YouTube review videos, and they're picking up all our sales, so that does happen a lot. The mechanics of that, well, first of all, let's do some dissection. So we wanted to bring people onto VIA. You're right, we did offer a free trial. And we did that, matter of fact, if you want a free trial of VIA, you can pick up yours at viacommunity.org. That's VEA community.org. A little shameless plug there. But what we did is we said to the affiliates, hey, look, we're going to put our money where our mouth is. We know that people are going to find VIA to be incredibly valuable. And so we're willing to pay you $5 for each sign up, whether they convert or not, right? So we put our money where our mouth is. Plus we said, hey, we'll also give you a piece of the back end too. So that was unique. And you like that.
Yeah.
And how did you initially hear about us? Did you hear about us on Munch Eye, or did you hear about us through Warrior Plus? Or both?
I don't recall exactly how I initially heard about it, but definitely Munch Eye would have been a place.
Sure.
And I liked Warrior Plus because Warrior Plus is a tool that I use. But I also think that you reached out to me as an affiliate. Let's talk about that. I think that's how.
That's right. So you asked me when you came in, you said, by the way, did you reach out to me personally, or did one of your VAs do that? And the answer was a little bit of both. So we have a process in place. I'm always talking about how to leverage your business, and I'm so fully leveraged in my business because I have so much help. And so what our people do is they do research, and we look at different things like leaderboards, who's winning these contests, these affiliate contests. And then our team creates a database, and then they reach out through different channels. Usually with our affiliates on JVZoo and Warrior Plus, those guys tend to hang out on Facebook. So they will reach out with that list. They'll go to Facebook, they'll friend those people, then they'll come back several days later once they're friended, and then reach out with a templatized message. James responded, and then as soon as James responded, then I jump in there because then we want to have a dialogue going. But that's kind of how we got it going. So great strategy for that.
And one great thing about marketers is that sometimes if you're new to the marketing industry, I'm not necessarily going to friend someone that I don't know on Facebook. But with marketers, it's expected.
Yeah.
So I have 5,000 friends on Facebook that you can go on there right now, and once you start to get into that community and you see what's being promoted, you very quickly learn the names. If you go to friend them, more than likely they're going to friend you back. And then once you start friending those people, it'll happen that it'll start popping up. Oh, you have 15 mutual friends. Well, those clearly are people that are either marketers or they're into marketing. So all you do is you start friending them. All of a sudden, you have this massive following of people by you simply being proactive and reaching out to them. That's how you can get 5,000 friends on Facebook very quickly.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So what I love about JVZoo, Warrior Plus, and typically I actually don't use those platforms. I know you do all the time almost. We don't typically, but what I do love about it is like we came into Warrior Plus, we picked up maybe 1,300 new affiliates, and we had 0 when we started. Right? And that's what's cool about those mechanics is that if you come up with a cool product, you get a little bit of attention, then the conversion numbers are being shown to the community, and then affiliates start to jump on board, right?
Absolutely.
That's been your experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So first of all, before I forget too, real quick, this is kind of interesting. We were talking about how at Goodwill, your product there, what you came to donate was heading out the door like a few minutes later. Do you know that there's an app now for like used clothes? Did you know about that?
No.
Yeah, you should check it out. It's pretty interesting. But I mean, it's genius. It's like an app version of that.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Before we get into kind of some of the things that we shared today, which I thought was quite interesting, do you happen to have some other suggestions, ways that people could market via or some affiliate product that they want to market?
Well, YouTube is definitely up there. Another little trick or hack that I use is, so again, I'll go to this site like Muncheye and I see the launches that are coming out. Well, write that down. Write the names of those products, and then a few days after the launch, go on Google and see where all these things ranked, and then you'll say, oh, you know what? Someone had a link on SlideShare, which is a free service where you can make slides and get ranked on Google. Oh, somebody used this service, Reddit, whatever. You can see what other people have done with previous launches and then do the same thing the majority of the time in free ways. One of the things that I do now too is not just those free social media websites posting on Facebook, for example, but also I now have an email list. So I create products, I get people that buy my products, and then I, in the case of Via, and a few others, will let people know on my list about this product and then potentially get affiliate sales.
Yeah, and I'll give you another hack too. Another way to build a list is through solo traffic, right? A lot of people do it, especially when they're getting started. So what are solos? Well, you can pay people who have lists to mail for you. And there's all types of different names for this, media buys, and it just sort of depends where you buy it. But in kind of the world of marketing, there are solos. And solos are kind of unique because you actually pay per click, which is pretty cool because I've bought I bought mailings to email lists before where you're not paying per click, you're just paying for the blast. And you pay a lot of money and it's very risky. Whereas with solos, you are guaranteed of getting a click. Now, you're not guaranteed of getting a conversion, and when I say conversion, I mean a sale, but you're certainly guaranteed of getting that click, and that's half the battle, right? And so if you can buy clicks and you know where you'll monetize out on, then it's pretty cool way to grow an instant list. And you could do this a couple of different ways. You could run that solo to an affiliate offer or to your own offer. What you could also do is you could run it to an affiliate offer, but you could put something in front of it where you're capturing the data too. You can split the data. And when you split the data, let's think about that. So let's say you're buying clicks for, 40, 50, 60, 80 cents a click, whatever it may be. You're buying clicks, you're running it to an offer on Warrior Plus or to JVZoo, and you're splitting the data. So you're breaking even, or maybe you're making money as you're running this solo, so it's not really costing you anything. But at the same time, you're splitting that data, running them into your list. Next time around, you have your own list. You could buy solo traffic or not, right? Great strategy, yes?
Sure.
Yeah, and this is something that anybody could do. Now, if you are inside our VIA group, you probably understand what I'm talking about. If you're on the outside, it may sound like I'm speaking Martian. And the way to bridge that and learn our lingo is, of course, to join the community at viacommunity.org, where we go a lot deeper on this stuff. But also what I think we should share too, which I think people will find interesting, is today I did some coaching with you, and you shared a lot of cool stuff with me too. And all of my best ideas always come from hanging out with guys like you, right? I mean, when you're just hanging out, exchanging ideas, it's literally the thing I love the most. Like you asked, like, hey, can you come hang out? I'm like, absolutely. It's what I love the most. I love exchanging ideas. You probably love it too. Yeah, it's super fun. And what I usually find when I'm talking to entrepreneurs or marketers, I will tell you this, almost 100% of the time it comes down to marketing, right? It comes down to marketing, because if you have the marketing dialed in your business, if you have a ton of business coming through the doors, if your bank accounts are overflowing with money, you can buy yourself out of any challenge you face in your business, right? For sure. But also what I find is that 90% of entrepreneurs are just leaving money on the table. Okay, they're always leaving too much money on the table. And it's pretty common because we're all so busy in our own business that you need to bring in some eyeballs once in a while to see what you're doing. And they'll just say, oh, you need to do X, Y, Z. So normally I find that, most people kind of get fixated on selling one thing and they end up leaving so much on the table. So you do some pretty unique stuff. And you do super low ticket sales, like $9 stuff, right? And sometimes you even do dime sales, and we should talk about dime sales in a minute, but you do a lot of $9 stuff, and you may be sitting there thinking, well, how are you going to get rich on $9? But what you're doing is you're building a list, right? And then you can sell all kinds of things. So you share with me, you've had tons and tons of these $9 offers, but you weren't doing a lot of back end on them, right? So what I immediately saw is that there was certainly a lot of back end revenue to be made that you were missing out on. And so we talked about a lot of different things there. So first of all, you got a $9 offer. Okay, fine. You run, every time you do a promo, maybe every month or two, you get 1,000 or 2 customers. So at the end of those that's wrong, I gave it away. At the end of that offer should be a webinar, right? A way for somebody to play with you on a larger scale, right? And so the way you do that is you come up with an offer that either perfectly aligns itself with that $9 offer, or you come up with something that's a little broader that could lend itself to anybody that would come in through any of your offers, right? So some examples is, I don't know, if you had a $9 offer on how to market on Craigslist, then you might have a $4.97 or a $9.97 program that shows how to create an actual business that runs through Craigslist or something like that, right? Or if you're in the marketing niche, and you're always working with marketers, well, what do you know about marketers? The odds are pretty good they want to create their own course, right? So you could have a course creation, and all roads lead to that webinar, right? And then when people go through that webinar, there's going to be a certain group of people that are going to say, you know what, I want to work with James on a deeper level, right? I want to be coached by him, right? Or maybe they're going to say, James, I love what you taught me, but I don't want to do it. I want you to do it for me. Right? And they'll pay you a lot more money for that. That could be, $5,000, right? Much bigger sale. And then on top of that, you also have this list that you're building. So why not work with joint venture partners to do joint venture webinars to bring in even more revenue, right? And I always talk about affiliate marketing. And there are 2 ways that every entrepreneur should be utilizing affiliate marketing. And if they're not, you are leaving so much money on the table. So let's talk about that for a second. So number 1, you need to have your own affiliate program, right? We all need an affiliate program. So I'll give you an example. At my other company, which is 123 Employee, we have about 6,000 affiliates. Now those affiliates, I don't know any of them, but I love every single one of them, right? I don't know them, but they send me business all the time, whether I'm asleep, whether I'm awake. I love when we go to the movies. I'm with my girlfriend Liz. We're at the movies, and I open up, my phone goes bing, 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 and then we made 10 grand. It's like, that's the coolest thing ever, right? I call that mailbox money, right? It's just awesome. Now, so I love those affiliates. Now, just so you know, those affiliates, they don't send us a lot of business. They might send us a deal a year, not a lot, but times 6,000, it adds up. But then we also have our joint venture partners, guys like you, okay? And what's a joint venture partner? They're just an affiliate. But in our world, we call the joint venture partners our big boys and girls, right? They're the ones that can send us, 100 sales, 500 sales, 1,000 sales. They can send us $30,000 to $100,000 in like 90 minutes, right? That's a great friend to have, right? Matter of fact, some of my best friends are our affiliate partners. Like our JV partners, we have about 600 of those, and those guys I know all on a first name basis. They're some of my best friends. We travel together every year. I take them on lavish trips and buy them lavish dinners, and my kids play with their kids. Why not? Because we're making all this money together, right? You want to keep them happy, but I'll tell you, your best friends are your best friends that you make money with, right? It's the funnest thing to make money with your buddy, right? Like, so it's pretty awesome. So you certainly want to have those partners. Now, I always ask people, well, what does that cost you? And everyone says, well, it doesn't cost you anything. Well, the reality is it does cost you money, right? Because we pay affiliate commissions. As a matter of fact, your affiliate traffic is the most expensive traffic that you'll buy. But it's found money, right? We don't have to go spend money to make it. It just comes in the door. We'll take it all day long, right? Why wouldn't we? And so that's the first way that you absolutely have to be utilizing affiliates. You have to have your own affiliate program. Why would you not have an affiliate program, right? And the second way to utilize affiliates is affiliates fill the gap in your business. So what do I mean by that? Well, most people sell one thing. Now, you sell 400 things, okay? But they're still in the marketing niche, right? Okay. I sell, I guess, 2 things now, right? I have VIA, right? But for the last decade, I've sold one thing, outsourcing, right? That's my other business, 123 Employee, my outsourcing company. I sell one thing. Most people sell one thing. If you're a real estate agent, you sell one thing. You sell real estate, right? But there's a myriad of other things that your customers would buy from you if you only had it to sell because they know, like, and trust you, right? And so there's all kinds of things. Like, what do I know about my people? Well, outsourcing is B2B. So I know that those business owners would buy marketing services, Facebook advertising, office supplies, contract services. The list goes on and on, right? They buy a million things from me, all kinds of business opportunities and what have you. They would buy them all from me if only I had them to sell. But do I want to be in 14 different things? No. I want to be focused on outsourcing. That was my business for the last decade. That's how I built a big business. So that's my focus. So I use my affiliate partners. Guys like James. James may have an offer that entrepreneurs would be interested in. He comes to me, he says, Dab, I have this offer. We're selling it for $497 or $997. It's a marketing thing so that businesses can make more money. I said, James, that's perfect. My audience would love that. Great. Let's run your webinar to my people. And by the way, James, could we run my offer to your people? James says, yeah, why not? So now we're making money times 2. Okay, so what's happening in that situation? Well, first of all, my clients that know, like, and trust me, James' clients who know, like, and trust James, they're benefiting, right? They're getting something they want, and they're getting us backing it up too, right? Like, James's people know that if something doesn't go right with me, that they can come back and yell at James, right? and vice versa. So, there's accountability there. Also, we lend each other's credibility to each other. James reaches out and says, hey, this is my friend Davin. He's cool, and he comes out with great programs, and you can trust him, so he lends his credibility. I reach out and say, hey, this is James. He's a genius. I love what he's doing. You're going to love it too. So we're kind of giving, like, the wink, right? And then we're helping everybody out, but we're also, making a lot of money. And these are things that 95% of businesses don't do, right? They're not filling those gaps in their business. They're busy selling one thing. Another mistake that businesses make too, which luckily neither of us do, but most businesses sell one-to-one, right? They go out there, they're hustling all the time to sell one person. A big shift for me that happened in my business, I think this was kind of for you in day one because you kind of went into the marketing niche, that was your first business, but we had to make a shift, and that was for years and years we were selling one-to-one. It used to be the old paradigm, and then one day we made a shift, and it was a huge tipping point in our business when we started marketing one-to-many. So we said, from now on, we will no longer sell one-to-one. We will only sell one-to-many. And how do we do that? Well, I started speaking on stages, open my mouth, one-to-many. We started doing webinars, open my mouth, speaking to many. I started writing books. I write one book, we'd sell 30, 40, 50,000, 100,000 copies. I was speaking to 100,000 people, right? We started doing our own events, once again, speaking to many. And when you do that, that's how you grow a business exponentially. And so many businesses don't do that. But that's
leverage.
Yeah, the leverage, exactly. So a lot of lessons to be learned there for sure. We covered some awesome stuff. I especially love, what we look at in your business. I know you're going to add a 0 to your business this year.
Absolutely.
So that's pretty exciting.
And that was the great thing is that getting to meet. It's one thing to,
talk on the phone or on Facebook.
And that's what my wife said. My wife said, you're going to fly all the way to Vegas? Why don't you just call Davin on the phone? I said, it's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
And so, I came out here for a day. I'm leaving tomorrow, but these few hours we spent together have been, it's part of my core that is going to help me basically forever that I'm in this business. But these few hours here are worth, however many thousands of hours I'd spend online, because I can talk and tweak to you, and you can, we can do that little dance for a few hours, and it really helped me out.
Well, you made a really good point there. I would say that if there's a shortcut, I'll find it, right? I shortcutted my kids. So when I was in my, I think, 30s, all my friends had kids. I didn't. And then one day I met a lady and she had 2. And I adopted them when they were little kids. And I shortcutted diapers. I didn't have to do that, right? If there's a shortcut, I'll find it. And I find that no matter what there is, no matter what you want to do, what you want to achieve, there's always somebody that's walked that path before you. And if you can latch onto them, you can shortcut it, right? So why not just get a little mentorship, connect with somebody, and fast forward and shortcut your success. And on top of that, I know you and I will end up doing more business too, just because we went deeper and spent time together. So
Absolutely.
It's pretty awesome. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this information. It was great hanging out with you, James. And if you want to shortcut your success, go to viacommunity.org now. Get your free trial of VIA and get the resources, get connected, get all the education, and I look forward to sharing all that with you on the other side. And until next time, this is Davin Michaels with James Renoff. Live your true life adventure. Bye for now. And Bijal, come hit cut. Oh yeah, that's right, there's the delay. All right, bye everybody. Thanks for watching.